Alright, I see a lot of people like to talk about this topic, gaijin hunters, and I got a question from one of my viewers and I want to try to settle his mind and answer some of his questions. First I want to clear up what the term gaijin hunter means. It may mean different things for different people. Some people use it to mean Japanese girls that go out of their way to find romantic relationships with foreign men. I use it in the context that it's any Japanese person, a man or a woman, who seeks out foreigners to fulfill some need that they have. Maybe it's to, get better at English, or to learn about that foreigner's culture, or they want to try to be different, or they want to open themselves up to a new culture. In my mind, it has kind of a bad connotation, but it's a double-edged sword. And I'm going to explain why. So the guy who asked me this question, he goes by Nebula Steam, and he's one of my viewers, and seems like a nice guy, and we've had a little bit of an opportunity to write back and forth. So he put in an effort. He responded to one of my videos with a video, so that's why I'm making this video, to answer his questions. So one of his questions was, should I befriend a gaijin hunter? And my answer is yes, definitely. Let me explain his situation a little bit. I think his deal is in about 2 years he's going to finish university and come to Japan as a ALT teacher. That's an assistant language teacher. And so I'm assuming that he doesn't speak Japanese, well enough to be able to do things on his own, and he doesn't know much about Japan. I don't know if he's been here before or not, but if you're coming to Japan for the first time, you definitely need to befriend a gaijin hunter. I mean, you need as many friends and resources in your pocket as you can possibly have. One thing that's good about gaijin hunters is that they're very motivated to help you. And if you're coming to Japan for the first time, and you can't speak Japanese, you don't understand stuff, you need people to help you, definitely make a friend. Make a friend with a gaijin hunter if you have to. They're not like, they're just human beings. I'm talking about them like they're aliens. No, they're just human beings. They're a little bit, some of them are a little bit overly ambitious to have a foreign friend or to practice English, but yeah, 100%, you need those people to help you, because like, imagine walking around a city where you can't even read the signs on the buildings or anything. So that's very overwhelming, and you definitely, life is going to be a lot easier if you have a friend who can help you with all that stuff. So his next question is, are they reliable? Well, I'm not, okay, gaijin hunters, Japanese people in general are reliable. I have found that they generally keep promises. When they say they're going to come, they come, and they come on time. So I have found them to be very reliable. The only situation where I found Japanese people to not be reliable is women. Like in the dating situation, they're very flaky. But that's a whole different thing. But if you're not talking about like the dating world and the romance and kind of stuff like that, just for everyday, in the everyday meaning of reliable, yes, Japanese people are really reliable, and that would include gaijin hunters too. Like I said, they're going to be very motivated to help you, so they're going to be even more reliable. So no problem with that. And then my friend's next question was, if I need to go to the doctor, the dentist, or the supermarket, can I have them come along and be my translator for me? Oh yeah, I mean 100%. They're going to love to do something like that. You have to understand that their motivation to be your friend is they want to open up themselves to your culture, and they want to practice speaking English for free. And it's not such a bad thing, because for them to study English here is very, very expensive. I'm not sure how much it costs at the major language schools, but for example, I know at Berlitz, to pay for a 45-minute private lesson, it costs like 8,000 yen, which is about $80 US. And if you work at a minimum wage job, that's 10 hours. You'd have to work 10 hours to pay for a 45-minute lesson with a native speaker at Berlitz. Berlitz is one of the I don't know. It has a good reputation here in Japan as being one of the top English schools. So you can't blame them for wanting to practice English for free. They get something out of it, you get something out of it for sure, so it's a win-win situation. So yeah, a gaijin hunter is going to love to tag along with you and go to the doctor, the dentist, and the supermarket and explain stuff to you. It's going to be fun for them to explain their world, this world in Japan, to you. You can just imagine it the other way around. Imagine if you could speak Japanese and they were coming to your country and you could explain everything to them in Japanese. You'd be psyched to do that because you know how your country works, and it would be fun for you to explain everything to them. I think it would be, at least. So the next question is are they assholes who don't care about me at all? No. I think, like I said, gaijin hunters, they're a little overzealous, perhaps, and I think that relationship between the gaijin hunter and you is going to be superficial at first, and it may be superficial as long as the relationship continues. But at some point, it may switch over from a superficial relationship where, hey, I'm just using you to practice English, and you're just using me to learn how to get around here in Japan. It may switch over to a genuine relationship where it goes beyond the gaijin hunter and gaijin relationship, and it may just hit that point where it gets personal, and the gaijin hunter genuinely starts to care about you as a human being, and you start caring less and less about that they're a gaijin hunter, and that's something beautiful that can happen. So I mean, I hope that if you come to Japan, something like that you could create a really genuine relationship like that. But you have to understand that at first it is going to be superficial, and that's just the way it is. And it's superficial on their end, and it's superficial on your end. That's life. I mean, in this world, people have to use each other every day. I mean, we are users. We use each other to achieve a means to an end, or something like that. And that's just the way it is, and you're going to have to accept that. And the last question he asked is, are they going to be concerned for me, or are they just out there to practice English? Well, this kind of goes back to what I was saying, is that at first the relationship is going to be superficial, where you're both using each other. But I have found that Japanese people are just as human as us all, and they do show concern. Just in our different cultures, we have different ways of showing concern. A lot of Japanese people actually feign concern. They act overly concerned when they're really not that concerned. That's something that's interesting about Japanese culture. But yeah, I mean, your gaijin hunter friend, I think that they're going to treat you well, and you're going to be in good hands. And are they just out there to practice English? Yeah, at first they probably are just out there to practice English, and like I said, you'll get something from it too. You'll get a free tour guide, you'll get a free friend to tag along and help you go shopping, go to the doctor, whatever you need. Okay, so they are out there to practice English, but it's a two-way street. They're getting something out of it, you're getting something out of it, and like I said, if you're lucky, at some point in your relationship, it'll convert from a superficial relationship to a genuine relationship, and that's when the magic happens. That's when you feel happy that you came to Japan, and when you really feel happy that you can make a genuine connection with a Japanese person, and that's where a deeper level of respect starts. And it also gives them a deeper level of respect for foreigners, and not to just see us as tools to practice English. And that's a great thing when that happens.